Sometimes it happens that animal encounters with an unexpected ending do not look cruel at all, but rather cute. In general, otters should not be underestimated. They are pretty cool guys, especially if they attack in a pack. But this orangutan should not have been underestimated. At first, he retreats. The peaceful monkey does not want to fight. But when he realizes that the otters are not calming down, this primate picks up a stick. Orangutans not only belong to one of the most intelligent primates that can use tools, but also have strength. "Get away from me, you impudence!" The monkey doesn't seem particularly angry. Rather, she is annoyed by the audacity of the otters. In general, an orangutan is such a cute, retired Special Forces soldier. Yeah, he has already grown a small belly, looks lazy, and is always polite to his neighbors. But if you make him angry, he will immediately remember the past and break the legs of someone who allows himself too much. Like this. At first, the orangutan treats the monkey's pranks with patience and understanding. But when she abuses these advantages, the larger beast remembers that it can literally swat the insolent. But still, this story is much more touching and amazing. These loggers are destroying an ancient rainforest. Maybe for the sake of increasing the area or the territory for crops, maybe for the sake of mining. It doesn't matter. But what really matters is the feelings of the inhabitants of the ancient thicket. Yes, these animals have feelings too. Like the hero of a blockbuster on an environmental theme, the most ordinary lone orangutan stands against a huge bulldozer. The colossal size, relative to the primate, of a car with a metal bucket and a noisy engine should have caused an orangutan to have a real panic attack and drive him away from here. But this monkey is too smart for that. She shows everyone, you messed with the wrong lady. This resident of the jungle is not so easy to intimidate, and the orangutan goes out to fight against the bulldozer. Without hope or possibility of victory, just because that's her position. Yes, my friend, this red monkey has a public position formulated more clearly than most of those you see in your own hometown. But if you have experience fighting for wildlife conservation and eco-activism, then share it into the comments below this video. We would really love to hear your story. At the same time, the orangutan got as close as possible to the bucket to fight with him, like a knight with a terrible dragon. Although the primate cannot destroy metal, its very presence on this branch does not allow the builders to move on. Therefore, in a sense, the animal won. Well, or at least something that made you think about what is happening in the distant forests and jungles. The courage of this monkey motivates and inspires to join this fight, does it not? No, we are not calling to attack construction equipment, but you must admit, wildlife deserves to take care of it and protect its mysteries and unexplored corners from destruction. It seems that even the builders who worked in this place also felt the grief of the orangutan for the destroyed thicket, which was his home. It remains to be hoped that this brave animal is now alive, healthy, and has found a new home. At least, neither the bulldozer driver nor the other people did any harm to the primate. Interestingly enough, when an orangutan went out to fight against the bulldozer, he thought that he was facing a huge monster that was uprooting his forest. Or did the animal understand the role of man in this terrible destruction of the jungle and was just trying to show the bipeds that they would not be able to destroy everything here just like that? We can only guess. What do you think? When the mare realized that the stallion did not understand and did not accept a rejection, she decided on a more explicit way to show that she did not like him. Namely, with the help of a knockout blow directly to the head. The stallion simply turned off from the impact of powerful hooves on the skull. While now, perhaps, he will behave more like a gentleman with women. The relationship between badgers and foxes is an example of an amazing interspecies friendship. Usually, but not this time. Two animals entered the territory of human habitation with the explicit purpose of finding something tasty. Well, the badger clearly understands he's not as cute as the fox, and there are not enough treats for everyone. So, we'll have to show the redhead that we'll have to leave. Of course, it turned out to be brutal, but in fact, the fox simply underestimated the power of the badger. Their grip will surprise many. Remember in the film Guardians, there was a cool moment. The prisoners approached the arrested superhero to settle old scores. It all ended with an epic phrase. "It wasn't me who was locked up with you, and it's you who are locked up with me." It wasn't me who was locked up with you. And it's you who locked up with me! Well, these hyena-like dogs made the same mistake as the bandits in the movie. They underestimated the enemy and decided that he was trapped. In fact, the gazelle that you see now is one of the few artiodactyls that are distinguished by a very determined character and a love of fighting. Perhaps these dogs thought that the gazelle had gone to the depths because of panic trying to escape. In fact, the ungulate lured predators to a place where they would have neither the opportunity to surround nor the advantage of a flat surface. And when the horned creature realized that the dog was carried away and believed in his victory, he turned into a crushing counterattack. The gazelle literally trampled the predator and almost drowned him. An object lesson for fellow humans who understood the essence of the situation in time and did not dare to pursue a higher animal at depth. The behavior of this gang of makakis does not cause any involvement. They really fancy themselves too strong and invulnerable to smaller otters. It seems that primates treat otters like toys. They shake the kids from side to side, sometimes even bang their heads on the rocks. Why would an animal that doesn't try to hunt do that? Out of curiosity or because of a violent nature? To be honest, it is extremely difficult to perceive all kinds of animals equally objectively and with equal sympathy, and it's not because some animals seem more beautiful. It's just that the habits of certain species are really associated with meanness and cruelty. Whereas surprisingly other animals behave nobly, at least by our human standards. Or do you think that it is unacceptable and irrational to evaluate the behavior of animals from the point of view of human views on ethics? Or vice versa, do you believe that animals can also be guided by good intentions, which means that there are also villains among them? Answer in the comments. Maybe you are equally more for hyenas and lions. If you are outraged by the behavior of these vile makakis, then now you will see that they underestimated their enemy. Maybe one otter is weaker than a primate, but altogether they represent a formidable force. Otters caught a makaki and threw it into the water, and then surrounded from all sides. From the sides, from below, from above, their sharp teeth were constantly wounded, bitten, looking for a gap in the defense. The makake tries to fight back, but the otters in the water are too strong. It is much more convenient for them to act there. And the otters fight too harmoniously to be resisted. Although the macaque is trying to fight off a relative, he has no chance. The otters have dealt with the enemy and have shown that contacting them is the biggest mistake a monkey can make. Do you see a shark? Ah, there she is. An invisible predator that plows the waters of the ocean, like her ancestors millions of years before. Are you scared? She knows you're scared. But this sea lion is not the enemy on whose fear you can count. This mammal is not just not afraid of the shark, it attacks first and literally bites the huge fish, throwing it out of the water. For a sea lion, this shark, with all its size and powerful jaws, is just a hearty lunch. When a bully does not get rebuffed for a long time, he may believe in his own strength too much. This dog really thinks he can scare a bull weighing almost a ton. This ungulate endured the stupidity of the opponent for a while, but then decided to teach it a lesson. And it did it in the most convincing way. With a kick that threw the dogs away and slammed it into the door jamb. Now the little impudent dog will think several times on whom it is possible and on whom it is not possible to bark and rush. Archimedes said, "Give me a fulcrum and I will move the earth." It is not known whether the bull of the work studied the biography of an ancient physicist, but the concept of Archimedes was embodied 100% here. During the enemy's attack, the bull went into defense, found a foothold, and took a crushing blow from the enemy with such fortitude that the bull literally did a somersault in the air and landed on his back. He himself is shocked by the acrobatic trick that he has just performed. But it must be admitted, he does not take stubbornness. The bull jumped up and continued the duel. Apparently, they didn't share something important. The wolf is one of the most successful predators on the planet. But the golden eagle does not care about the reputation of this enemy. The bird is so strong that it can attack a wolf and take away its prey immediately after hunting. The golden eagle attacks the predator from above. Of course, a wolf is not a timid beast at all. He will fight back fiercely. Besides, he also surpasses the bird in mass and physical strength. But this golden eagle is a real champion in hand-to-hand combat. He spreads his huge wings over the wolf, hovers in the air, and strikes a series of powerful blows. The claws of the bird do not allow the wolf to reach him with his teeth. The reaction of the golden eagle is lightning fast. He hits accurately and the wolf barely saves his eyes from the sharp blades of the bird's legs. As a result, the eagle successfully pushes back the enemy and takes away his rightful trophy, like some kind of air robber. But this wolf was unlucky. The eagle chose him as his prey. Of course, attacking a large predatory animal is very dangerous. But the eagle has an advantage. The laws of physics are on his side. When the bird crashes down on the wolf from the sky, the blow comes out so strong that the predator weighing as much as an adult did a somersault. The main weapon of these birds are their sharp, curved claws. Since birds don't need to walk much on their paws, the claws can grow much longer than those of mammals. Such huge crescent-shaped blades give the relatively thin and not very large fingers of a bird's paw a particularly sinister look. Don't you agree? The length of a large golden eagle's claw can be longer than the length of an adult male's fingers. The task of the claws is not only to inflict maximum damage, but also to keep the prey. This explains their specific shape, but can be viewed up close thanks to these rare frames. Although the fingers seem thin, they have tremendous strength. Therefore, the eagle can hold and even lift into the sky prey that exceeds its own strength. The coordination of the eagle's movements is amazing. The eagle can literally change the angle of the movement of the wings by several degrees in order to slow down, hover, or turn around in flight. And at the same time, to put forward their terrible claws to accurately hit their prey and grab it tighter than a pit bull with their jaws. And all this in a split second. The sharp curved beak of most representatives of this family of birds is quite short and wide. Therefore, they use this weapon not during the first attack, but after during the struggle. Eagles do not always deal with the prey after a fall. Sometimes they have to fight for a long time, and then the beak plays the role of a warhammer, The bird holds the victim with its claws and with its beak strikes precise blows at vulnerable places. But this arsenal still needs to be used correctly. First of all, daytime predators have supervision for this. It's worth mentioning right away. Their eyes have two special abilities. This is the ability to see far, for tens of miles, tens of kilometers, as well as the ability to accurately notice small objects and objects. An eagle can see a rabbit, despite the disguise of an eared rodent, even from the height of an airplane flight. But these birds do not have night vision, so they never hunt at night. The coyote tried to steal the eagle's food, but the eagle reacts instantly. Such jokes won't work with him. The eagle strikes powerful blows right on the face of the impudent dog. Sharp claws pierce near the eyes. Although serious injuries were avoided, the pain from these blows will be a lesson that the animal will remember for a lifetime. Unlike the feathers of waterfowl, the feathers of eagles get wet easily and quickly, after which the bird can no longer use them for flight. Therefore, going down to the water is a huge risk for them. Do you think that stopped the white-tailed eagle from hunting a goose right on the water? Of course not. The eagle attacks the enemy and from the force of the blow, plunges into the water almost by half. But the endurance of a bird of prey can only be envied. Although she starts to go to the bottom, the dry part of the wings is enough to keep her above water. The eagle even continues to fight and drown the goose. And then, with difficulty, but quite successfully, he pulls the prey to the shore, where he proceeds to dinner in front of every other shocked goose. And this waterfowl was able to give the eagle a worthy rebuff. Every time the predator made a turn and rushed at the victim again, the goose dived under the water and dodged the blow. The eagle lost strength faster because he had to maneuver vigorously, whereas the goose only needed to maintain concentration and make a short dive in time. But the patience of a predator is also a kind of weapon for victory. He was able to catch the goose at the very last moment. And instead of trying to drown the obnoxious opponent, he snatched him out of the water. It seems that the eagles have some kind of competition who will take more risks on the hunt. After all, this bird of prey did not just decide to catch prey right out of the water. She's targeting a sea snake. Yes, eagles generally like to hunt these legless reptiles. But in the water, the snake is much more maneuverable than on land. It is easier for it to turn around for a counterattack. And most importantly, it is the sea snake that is the most venomous in the world. She hunts fish. These creatures have a circulatory system so different from land animals that most poisons do not even work on them. The solution of the sea snake is to generate a toxin so strong that one drop of it could kill all the birds within a radius of hundreds of miles. But the eagle does not care about these risks. He relies on speed and wins. The bird was not only able to snatch the snake out of the water so quickly that the blow stunned the reptile and left it no chance to counterattack. The eagle also managed to see the head of the reptile at a great distance and attack it in order to block the jaws of the enemy with its claws. Everything is for the sake of posterity, because it is the chicks that the feathered fighter carries his prey. Sometimes the eagle's love of risk leads to curious cases, like this episode that occurred in the spring of 2022 on Vancouver Island. This predator was not afraid even to invade the territory of people. True, he attacked an ordinary goose, but this does not reduce the courage of the bird. The lightning attack ended unexpectedly. The owner of the goose ran out into the street and drove away the predator. To fight with a young mother who has a child in her arms is beneath the dignity of this noble predator. Well, or he just got cold feet. In any case, the goose was saved, but only thanks to the courage of the woman. It may seem that the eagles rely primarily on the main blow, and if they fight on the ground, then not for long. But this predator does not take endurance. It's not a problem for him to withstand a really long flight. He leaned on a powerful iguana, but the reptile's skin was too strong to be able to finish the hunt with one blow. However, the eagle gave up and grabbed the victim. As a result, the lizard tried to go somewhere into the thicket right with an eagle on side of its back. Do you know how long this struggle lasted? 5 hours. Of course, it wasn't too resource insensitive for an eagle, but still spending so much time clinging to a lizard. However, maybe for a bird, it was an interesting attraction that improves the appetite. What do you think is the reason for such a love of birds of prey for risk? Don't forget to reply in the comments. Although daytime predators prefer to attack from the air if necessary, they can continue a long battle already on the surface of the earth. Moreover, even the superiority of the enemy in brute force will not stop them. The predator rushes at the larger bird and strikes, but this is not enough. Then a fight ensues, which is sometimes similar to fencing. The birds try to maneuver, dodge, and the fight drags on. But the escape routes are blocked. The predator simply will not allow you to take off or escape. Therefore, the outcome of the battle is clear. Sometimes an eagle has to fly to find its prey. He can fly for hours over steppes or valleys looking for a victim to attack. But if a bird of prey finds a large gathering of animals, it will resemble some kind of feast. See how an eagle flies over a huge flock of flamingos. The predator clearly chooses the most delicious prey, and then hits the flamingo from above, just as the victim is trying to climb onto the wing. A well-aimed blow, and the pink bird crashed into the water. Then the eagle descends even lower and finishes her off. The white-headed feathered fights brutally and leaves the enemy no chance.